Earthquakes are caused by the movement of the huge tectonic plates that continents sit on. And what happens is they come together, and one, in this case the Pacific plate, is moving below the Japanese or Eurasian plate. Now it causes that plate to bend when it sticks there. There'll be a bit too much friction, it'll stick, pressure builds up until suddenly it's released and flick. Have a look at this. Now this is the tectonic plate that Japan is sat on, and here's the Pacific plate coming down underneath it. Now normally they want to move together at about 9 centimetres a year, but sometimes they get stuck. And when they get stuck, the energy of them moving together gets translated to strain energy, literally flex and bend in these huge slabs of rock. Now that energy builds and builds, they're flexing and bending more and more. When they finally slip, that stored energy, all that twist and bend in the rock gets released into sudden movement, like that. As you can see, it literally flicks up, moving the ocean floor above it, which moves the ocean, causing a tsunami. So here we've got a bigger submarine version of what's going on. Now this gives a representation of what's been happening 24 kilometres below the ocean surface in the Japan Trench. Now these things work in what they call a stick-slip way. Most of the time they're stuck, but occasionally they slip, and that's what an earthquake is. So we've got it here, this is bent up here. It's full of pent-up energy waiting to slip. Now when the slip happens, that energy gets released into the ocean, causing a series of tsunami waves, moving in both directions across the Pacific.
Japanese tsunami propagating throughout the Pacific Ocean. As a tsunami radiates from Japan, it encounters complex topography and bathymetry in form of ridges and volcanoes that create this complex wave pattern of scattering and reflected waves. By the 8-hour mark, the tsunami had encountered the Hawaiian Islands, populated areas. After 9.5 hours, it was hitting the west coast of the United States. Notice how complex this wave pattern is becoming as it encounters more topography and more bathymetry, and now you're seeing reflected and refracted waves throughout the entire Pacific. At the 16-hour mark, the tsunami now has propagated throughout the Pacific and is entering the Indian Ocean and enveloping the New Zealand islands. At 22-hour mark, the tsunami had propagated throughout the entire Pacific Ocean. One way to simplify the interpretation of this complex wave field is to compute the tsunami energy pattern, shown on this map. The red colors indicate where the maximum force is directed.
This is what's happening right as we speak.
You can see something is ablaze there on the ground as this has been
a tsunami warning for all territories on the Pacific Rim.